Welcome to The Growth Line, an ATD Maryland podcast.
Welcome to another episode of The Growth Line, where Maryland talent keeps moving forward. I am Wanda Ehrenleit, the VP of Programming.
And I'm Lori Grego, the VP of Finance.
Yes, and we are welcoming in this episode Kent Malwitz. He is the Executive Director of Workforce Innovation at UMBC.
Great. Hi, Ken. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit about your role, what you do in your role.
So my role is a new role at UMBC, actually, and it encompasses the work that we do through UMBC Training Centers, which is our nonprofit training provider that delivers training for organizations and individuals, and then bridges to campus to help define the capabilities, experience, credentials that are needed from graduating students to make sure that they're prepared for the workforce.
Oh, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
So I think what we're trying to talk about tonight is that really, in essence, what's top of mind for you or most interesting for you in the field of talent development right now?
Yeah, I think, of course, AI looking forward and, as it comes upon us and all industries, including our industry, it's exciting to figure out how AI can be applied to the learning development process, to instructional design, and then how it can be applied to the delivery of learning through things like tutors, personalized tutoring, personalized learning, and the ability to interact with content in a way that I find really fascinating and effective to complement the instructor-led training. So I think moving forward, AI is super exciting, and we're all trying to figure out how do we best use it in the design process, the delivery of learning process. And then looking backwards, I'm excited because we do a lot of instructor-led training as a university and as a training provider, especially with topics such as AI, where the content changes so rapidly.
Yeah.
It's very hard to have that be self-paced training because it changes so often. As soon as you publish a course, it may be obsolete. So we've seen a return to the classroom, not necessarily physically, but virtually at least, and a return to people wanting to learn together in a peer cohort group and learn from an expert. And what we find with topics like AI is it's really, we call it the collective genius. You're learning together, and the instructor is facilitating the learning in the room versus being the sage on the stage like we used to talk about. Because with something like AI, trying to learn AI, for instance, and how it applies to your role, it changes so frequently that it's a discovery for everyone. So it's been neat to see kind of a pendulum swing from totally self-paced, go off on your own and try to learn it on your own to we need to learn this together because it's really complicated and it's changing very rapidly. And there's a lot to learn. And I think after COVID, people have a real desire to come back together and learn together.
Yeah,
so that's been really exciting for us.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think we're different people are seeing waves of that, right? And the coming together, the cohort, the wanting to spend some time in classrooms again. And so that's interesting. You all are launching that. Is there a time limit where people are tired of being in the classroom? They want to come together, but only for so long. What are you seeing in that space as far as people's appetite for the in-person learning?
Yeah, I think whether it's in person or even live virtual, definitely the amount of time that people can spend focused on learning in a given week has definitely gone down. I think I saw a report from ATD where it showed that the average amount of time that someone spends has actually gone down at a time. And so what we see with our customers is bite-sized chunks are kind of the optimal. It's got to be enough that you have a deep learning experience and that something sticks, but it can't be necessarily 5 days, 8 hours a day of training. So a lot of the work that we're doing lately is subscription-based, where you actually have access for a year to a variety of 4-hour workshops. We find that's kind of the sweet spot between 2 hours if you're learning about something and 4 hours if you're learning to do something. And then you can take as many of those as you can, as your time permits, as your schedule permits, and try to schedule them in the most flexible way. 8 to 12, 12 to 4, 4 to 8, so that you can accommodate people on different coasts, but also people who want to do it over their lunch break, or maybe people who work for government contractors who have to be billing. You need to accommodate for that. So we're seeing people wanting to still get the benefit of self-paced training. I want to do it in short chunks and as I have time, but kind of trying to bring the best of both worlds. Here's instructors that are available to guide you through that process in these bite-sized chunks so you can ask questions and learn from one another. But yeah, their ability to dedicate time to training definitely is under siege. Often we find people have the budget, the money budget for training, but not necessarily the time budget for training, which is, even more important than the money budget. So
it sounds like UMBC, they're trending with talent development, and you're really focusing on the learning journey, right? And you're allowing those who learn and develop with you to kind of do that learning journey. You said they can choose the subscription base. That sounds really exciting. Is that what most of your clients are asking for?
Not necessarily. I mean, they're excited when we talk about it. I think it's a subscription is not a new thing, but they tend to be self-paced content that leaves it on your own. And so I think this is a neat blend that people seem to be resonating. It seems to be resonating with people. So we're getting really good reaction to it. And again, not to beat a dead horse with AI, but because it creates kind of stress if you feel that you're behind or your organization is behind or you're behind as an individual and everyone hears, you're not going to necessarily be replaced by AI, but you might be replaced by someone who knows how to use AI if you don't. And so what we find is when we open up these workshops with our AI learning subscription, they're filling. And I've not seen that before with other content areas where we've tried similar efforts. I think there's a bit of anxiety over being left behind that is causing people to really react and fill these classes. We thought in 6 months we might need to expand our schedule, but we're finding people are showing up and filling those classes. It's kind of like, we're about to hit New Year's Eve and the gyms are full for the first 3 weeks of the year, but then they die out. We have not seen a slowdown on the uptake of particularly the AI learning. That's not the only thing that we teach, but that is definitely on people's minds these days.
Okay, excellent. Well, Kent, thank you. As the Executive Director of Workforce Innovation at UMBC, in the Maryland community and at large, what are you really looking for? What is the workforce innovation? What does that mean to you?
Yeah. No, thank you for asking. I really, in this new role, I'm still in my listening and learning part of it before we kind of click into the leading part. And I need feedback. I need data from industry. What are you looking for as far as talent out of college, out of places like UMBC? What capabilities, what credentials, what experience are you looking for? And then what are you doing to train your own people so that we know how can we best support that and how can we best prepare our graduates to be there, when they show up versus you necessarily having, you'd rather train them on the core things that are unique to your business and make sure that we're producing talent that has, the basic capabilities. So I'm available to meet with anybody that's willing to talk to me. Who's an employer. I'm on LinkedIn, Kent Malwitz, UMBC. Love to hear from, the audience, the ATD community, to get your experience so we can catch up. I can catch up on what are the demands out there and how can we best support, the community. So
wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Kent, for joining us on the Growth Line. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. It's great.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the next episode of the Growth Line.
This has been The Growth Line, an ATD Maryland podcast.